Welcome back, guys. Game 2 about to begin. It is SKDC versus 4Kids and Uni the Unicorn, and Dust2 could be interesting for our Pug team.
It could be interesting, but you have to look at
Pug-ish team.
You have to look at it in two ways, Matthew. You have to think they were very good fragging. They had great individual talent, but there was one big problem in that whole map. There was not a single AWP ball on the whole of their CT campaign. Dust2, as we know, can be one of the most formidable maps for the AWP. If they don't have a player that can pick it up and go head-to-head with these guys, I see it being very difficult for them. So they did pick this map, so you have to think they have some sort of approach to it. I think you'd be bonkers not to have an AWP on Dust2 at any stage of the game. That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
So hopefully they've got some sort of approach here. We know they're a good fragging team and perhaps a Pug sort of setup. I'm not really sure too much of the history about them. We know we have nothing on them, so you have to assume there's not a lot to go on.
From what I know, they are fairly recently put together, perhaps.
Okay.
For this, I mean, this is interesting though because you've been wrong in a lot of calls on. Not to call you out, but like this caster's curse thing when you were like they're not going to retake and then they did. You know, just the bad luck.
Yeah,
so the bad luck is going to be that you're going to call them no ops, so they're going to pull a 5-op strategy.
The thing about being an analysis is you call on percentages. You say what they should be doing, right? It doesn't mean this just because they did something and it worked doesn't mean it was the right call.
That's the thing. If Counter-Strike were straightforward like that, every round you'd be able to predict, but it's the moments of lack of judgment, lack of clarity, someone makes a mistake, or someone has a huge individual moment. So I wasn't meaning to call you out. I was trying to just...
No, it's fine. I felt bad about it the whole time. I felt awful I got it wrong. I normally don't get anything wrong. So
you're perfect.
Yeah, I know. But going into this, they're going to be... It's difficult to predict. A lot of teams prefer T side. Some teams prefer CT side. It depends on how strong your CT is, really. CT, if you have a very solid setup and you have different formations you can apply, and you have AW... My favorite setup on this right now is the dual AWP. I think you're getting a B anchor with the AWP is fantastic. And then you have the other guy who normally holds on the A ramp or A car, but they can boost him up to short. He can play middle. He's very loose and he can keep it. But the idea of the AWP and B, he can lock it down. It's very difficult to take him down without him getting one kill in the first place. So that's what I ideally want to see. And it'll be interesting to see what teams they go for. 4K's actually going for the terrorist side first, it looks like. So that's not surprising.
Get ready for it. I'm waiting. Oh, I thought it was going to shoot back down and just spawn. I'm trying to predict the camera angles now. They're so fun.
Is that the new level?
This pre-game shot.
Yeah?
I know.
The mind game was going in. Wow, they're really
no, you raised some good points specifically, and obviously in this game we won't read too much into the meta of it, but it is interesting to see where that second op does often play on Dust2. There's a few different approaches. The 3-1-1 setup out of spawn initially now to cover off long A for an initial push. And then, like you're saying, that the op will fall to card. But there's still the off chance as well for some teams, if they're not putting an early presence on catwalk, that you go for the boost and look into lower. So
I love that.
You'll get that catwalk boost up with the op.
It's one of those Hail Mary plays you do once a half, but when you do it and you can do it at the right time, that makes me feel ill every time. I love it. It's crazy.
It's a roller coaster.
But I think here we go then. We go into the second map here. 4Kids trailing 0-1. And
oh, you got a shout out from Stewie2K.
Who did?
You did.
What did he say?
He said, shout out to my boy, Henry G.
Nice. That's loaded up.
Oh, look at the push. This is a huge push from SKDC right now. Slemmy's already found 2 kills, and the bomb's dropped. So things not looking formidable right now for 4Kids. And unfortunately right now, SKDC is killing kids.
So that's a very good thing to do. A lot of CT teams will wait back on the bomb sites and allow the T's to do something very interesting.
He just got on I was wondering why there was absolutely no look rate whatsoever.
It just registered in my brain. I was just thinking about the great CS I just watched. I love when CTTs do something aggressive on Dust2. It's one of those maps, if you sit back, the T's can just exploit you. They've got much better gunpowder in this situation. You can run out middle together as a little unit. CT's pushing up, getting aggressive, getting those first 2 kills. I love that. I think it's really smart play. So fair play to SKDC. Good start from them, and a terrible start to the second map for 4Kids going into their favorite map.
I'm interested to see how they are stacking up middle, though. So it looks like they have some sort of a default where they want to try and exploit with numbers, but the problem is they haven't covered off what's going on behind them. And the kills continue to stack up, obviously, as the skill of SKDC outweighs that of the 4Kids. They get 1 kill from JC Stani just for consolation, but it's an SMG they dropped, not a rifle, not a big deal.
So
I do like that, though. I mean, they did group mid. That is something you see from a lot of teams, to group up, try and execute correctly, and they left 1 player inside the tunnels, JC Stani, to try and at least pull one of the second players inside middle back to the B site. So they tried to give themselves opening. The problem is no utilities.
Yeah, that's the problem. Did they have armor that round? I actually missed that. Did they force buy? I can't imagine they did without getting the bomb down. They go into this one with the P250s, and it looks like they may have done last round. The money's
because the money's
So this is quite cool from the CTs, keeping those P90s. It allows them to do something quite loose next round. If this one's a pretty clean sweep for them, judging by the buy for the T's, it will be. it means the CTs are in a great position to like boost 2 people up short or go into tunnels of the P90s or something like that. That could be kind of cool.
I'm laughing at Slemmy right now because it's like he wants to go, but he knows in any situation against a team in their league, it's not a good idea. But in this case, he's like, I want to do it. But the problem is it's all stacked up, but they're not ready for Ellis, who again pushes with that P90.
Wow.
50 troll teeth, all of them almost fired that time.
So this is what we were talking about. The P90s in hand. Where are they going to go? They need to push somewhere a little bit crazy, get the first frag on the board, surprise the Ts. That's what I'd like to see from them. We can see who it's going to be. It's going to be Ocean and Els, the P90 crew, seeing what they can do here. Perhaps going up short together would be quite a nice idea. You can see there, they're going to be boosting up 2 guys there. So,
and Stewie's also got the op already out, hitting the shot on Yoon in the Unicorn. The big thing is, though, for Stewie is that he's able to cover off that middle while the push comes through from Catwalk, but they've got Caboose to contend with, and a little bit of an overreach here. Caboose goes down to 3 HP, but JC Stoney's there to bail him out. That nade, it's a little bit too low, but Slemmy's already got the kill anyway. It would have hit the bottom of the box. Caboose would have at least survived that initial blast. But JC Stoney's still going to hold up in post middle. It's down to 3 versus 3, and right now, with what's on the deck, the weaponry actually favors 4Kids because they still have that P90 out for Ellis. We'll see what angle he wants to play it. But look at Stewie. He's just staring down long.
They've got no control of the map whatsoever. They need to find some sort of input. They're all at T-spawn still. You can see someone ends up a B.
Oh, Slemmy might get a little bit too cheeky, but Draft, he's staring at the wall. Pre-aim, get that crosshair placement a little bit stronger.
And now the Ts are looking down the barrel of walking into B Bombsite with nothing to play with. Just going to have to go in and hope they find the CT straight away.
And JC Stoney wants to be the one in. The site's given up. The only one defending immediately in front of it. Going to be Slemmy, but he's taken down. It's Nash that gets the assist with the nade that came through. That did the bulk of the damage, and that allows JC Stoney to not only pick up him, but turn his attention onto Ellis. But last player, 1 player left. Stewie 2K had the op, swaps to the M4, so with all intents, he may go for this. He's going to throw the smoke nade out in the front of the doors. Bit of a gap, though. That's thrown deep, but he still comes through and takes JC Stoney by surprise, as he didn't quite get his gun out after the flash, but Nash, good positioning.
You can blame that round on Slemmy, I'm afraid. If you're going to play outside the bomb site and allow the Ts to come in, your whole job there is to get the information and wait for your teammates to rotate. He did that, but then went to go face by the window by himself. So he gives up the bomb site, lets them in, and then goes and dies by himself anyway. What is the point? You might as well stay in the bomb site, get the kill, at least go 1 for 1, and then it's a 2-1 in your team's favor. That was abysmal from him, I'm afraid, and that is the reason they lost that round. So he actually got 2 frags that round as well, so it's disappointing. He probably feels a little bit silly after that one, but there we go then. CTs do, after saving the P90s and stuff like that, they get to do a reasonable buy here. No head armor, of course, not really required against the AKs, but Galil's there, so that actually could favor the Ts, actually. Galil's actually not a bad buy whatsoever, but here we go then. A slower approach from 4Kids. Around, they can crush the CT economy if they're able to take this one.
Flash slows them a bit to Catwalk. Slemmy's in position. He's on the ramp, nade cocked. He's also got the support system in place from Carr. Where they'll have a crossfire. But the problem is there's still the lemming drop strat because they haven't rotated anyone toward the mid. If that gets exploited, there's a chance for the Ts, but Ellis is going to come through it. Slemmy to still get the kill with the late peek. Gets the second one as well on Unin, who took down his teammate, but there's the trade. JC Stoney coming back in. So 3 versus 3. It stays dead even. As the terrorists rounding quad. No smoke out, but they've got position to plant. They've got to worry about Ocean coming up from the ramp. Stewie 2K's there. They can go for the boost. They don't even need to yet. The first kill and second going to go the way of Stewie now. As JC Stoney, an overcommitment on the peak. Doesn't stay put it. Quad box and wait for them to come to him. He gets aggressive.
That's our boy Stewie getting a 3-man towards the end there. That's pretty impressive from him. That's a very difficult position to retake from as well. It's a difficult angle to get those headshots there, so fantastic work from him. That puts the Ts in a very difficult situation now. So winning one we discussed before is the replay here. I actually thought that was really cool from Stewie. That's like one of the hardest positions to retake from in the game. Really, you have to look at so much. The angle's not in your favor, so to get 3 kills there, great work from him. But CT's right back in the driving seat now. The Ts have a few Tech 9s in hand, a P250. It looks like they're actually opting just to rush towards B. They have 1 player there waiting in suicide alley, and then maybe he'll be flashing them out for the mid split here. We saw them group up in the middle before and just go out together. Will they be opting for that again?
Well, the smoke's just been lobbed. He's going to cover off CT, bouncing in. Ellis is in happy box, so he'll be able to see over top of it. In fact, he's just going to wait because his teammate's gone down now in front, but done a decent amount of damage. But unfortunately, Ellis can't do much more than just the single kill. Draft finding this puts pressure now onto Stewie, but the bomb, it falls inside the window, making it even more probable for Stewie to just hold on. As JC Stoney now Gets flashed, gets killed. 5-1 now, SKDC.
Yeah, and this is almost a mirror of what happened last map. You can see the economy on the C side. Again, don't have enough money to get the AWPs in. This would be a great opportunity for CT to actually roll one out. Maybe they start bullying the T's a little bit. They notice that their AWP game hasn't been strong as Slemmy. Of course, there he goes. He rolls it out. And this is when he can start doing different positions on the map. It looks like he's going towards long as well. This is what great AWPers do. You move around, you're surprising them. You go to a different position every time. You make it unpredictable. And that's how you get picks on the map and open things up as a CT side.
Look
you
at
bring
Slemmy.
the defensive.
How aggressive does this AWP get? And it finds Caboose because the flash was perfectly timed. It's a nice support play. That was brought in by Ape, but it's JC Stani that's still in that position. Stewie aggressively on B is now going to drop a smoke because they've got information on A. There's no need for him to overcommit and give much away at B because then they have the chance to rotate back. So it's Ape to just hold. The op's still there as well. So Slemmy's still in position. He hasn't fallen back to cover off Catwalk yet. And they can't even get to Catwalk comfortably because Ellis will spot them. And it's the NOA boost. Ocean's with, but what can Ocean find there? Come through. Now they do, and they waited. We waited so long, and then it all pays off for SKDC. Patience is the virtue, and it's going to be JC Stani left in mid with a swarming party, an absolute raid coming against him. Spotted already. Might take down Ape, but nope, not even going to get that far as Ocean comes out before the last shot will land.
It's difficult to watch right now for 4Kids. They just keep phasing themselves out of the game by force buying so much. I'd like to see them take a full eco, slow things down a little bit, start retaking areas instead of just spreading out so thinly, losing a pick, and then having to force yourself into something. I'd like to see a long retake from them, get some long control, push the CTs back, put them on the back foot for once instead of getting the first pick against you. Right now, the CTs are the offensive team at the start of the round. They're going up, they're making things work for them. The T's don't seem to have a whole lot of to answer back with. So you can see, again, Tech9's all towards B. We've seen them so far just run out middle together. Perhaps they'll go towards B this time. They have one flashbang in hand. It seems like this is probably a time they maybe want to take a pause. I don't know why they haven't yet. They seem to be a little bit lost.
And again, they're going to have Ellis waiting for a flash potentially to come through behind the doorway, but it's Stewie to start it off. He eventually does go down inside that site, so Ocean has to play from the doorway. So now they'll retake, but Ellis goes through. He's actually inside with Ocean to support. He ends up paying the price for it, but not before doing a massive amount of damage. And JC Stani wants to plant this bomb. That's going to give away his position with 5 HP. Not much he can do. So Ocean swiftly in on top of the situation. 7 SKDC looking unstoppable again.
Very important round now. This is where 4Kids need to come back. They've assessed the area. They've had 8 rounds to do it. Let's work out how we can lock this team down. The dual AWP setup, though, from SKDC, this is what I talked about. It's so strong. You can lock down that B area now, allow 2 rifles to go in middle. You can have a rifle towards A, an AWP towards A, and it's so difficult to lock down. And this may be the actual AWP boost we were talking about before. Have they sent the AWP up onto short? Yes, he has. It's Slemmy looking into lower B. We discussed this before the game.
It's not even a boost, though. He's just aggressive.
Just going straight up, right?
Yeah, they're not even boosting him at the corner, which means his escape plan is actually a little bit more difficult to achieve. But there isn't a lot of pressure put on him at this point. Unfortunately, he hasn't spotted the first player that snuck underneath either. As JC Stani got near the doorways, but he's still looking for the pickup toward the top of middle. He spots it, not able to hit it. JC Stani takes him down with an excellently placed AK bullet. But there's the response kill from Stewie. So Slemmy goes down first. Draft is still in lower. Very spread out, but they're working up A right now as well. Caboose just took down Ellis on A. Problem is the bomb's all the way back toward B side of T spawn. So they've got to run a long way just to pick that up. Even if they win this duel on Ape, there's lots of time for the C's T's to react. Although they would be in a 4 versus 2 situation. As Ape takes 1, it's now 3 versus 2. But look at Caboose's position as he lurks up. That was the initial entry on A. As we wait for the CTs to figure out exactly what's going on, they've read this wrong. They've actually taken the bomb back to B. And all that time, because it seemed obvious, too obvious for the CTs to head toward A after the activity they'd seen. 2 players spotted up. And now they're going to be a little bit confused, perhaps, as Stewie waits on Catwalk, flashing himself down. Perfectly pre-aimed by Unit. Does do a lot of damage to him, 23 HP. But unfortunately, still loses his life. Now, what's the call from Stewie?
I think he goes for this one. He has to give it a chance. He's got enough money. Bomb's only just gone down. Definitely has an opportunity here. If he can find the first frag, all the doors are open.
Tries to bait it out. Very nearly hitting that first shot, but not able to do so.
There we go then. 4Kids finally replying and have another round on the board. That was better from them. They actually got that long control we discussed. As soon as they showed some presence on short, fell back, went back to long, got some kills there as well. It pincered the CT. You see how much more difficult it is to hold when you have to look at both angles at the same time. And then going all the way around to Season1 as well. Very good from them. But CT's reply yet again. The dual op setup is out. 4Kids don't have an AWP of themselves. After winning that round, you'd think they'd pick one up and start working to themselves. But so far, Slummy's been working the picks so far.
So Slummy wants to try and get aggressive toward B, this time with the op. Passive aggressive, mind you, though, as he sits in window. 3-man support system inside mid. As Stewie gone, changes things, dictates what the CTs have to do. The Ts need to exploit this, though. They need to find a way right now, 4Kids, to take the map control.
Yeah, got
even put a scout on Cat right now. Get someone toward the corner, because now they've got the op already staring at it. Ape's in good position. JC Stani might just do exactly that, as the smoke's already gone out through mid. Caboose just going to take a peek behind the door, figure out what's safe, what's not. Ape spots the first shot, nails it on JC Stani, and falls immediately. And look how much that slowed them down. Things just falling apart, because 4Kids not taking any map away from the CTs after getting that initial pick. And as they work back to middle, we've got Ellis waiting to pop a flash a little bit too soon, because they haven't pushed through. But that'll dictate to him and indicate that they are heading toward the tunnel. So the rotation comes around. That nade's going to land almost perfectly timed. Although the first shot going to go to Slummy, second as well, bomb down. And that's pretty much going to do it for the round.
Oh dear. I've got my head in my hands after that one. When you get that first pick of the round, you need to capitalize on it, especially when you know you're on the back foot here. You can't wait around for the CTs to react and get their AWP set up and have almost turrets on the map. They got the first pick. It was great work from them. They needed to be more decisive. Go for an execution as you get that advantage and try and work together and utilize the numbers you have against them. They waited too long. They didn't gain any, even though they got a frag, they didn't gain any advantage from that whatsoever. They hung around the middle and didn't do anything with it. It was very disappointing from them in that respect. And now, after winning one, losing one, they go back to 23 set.
Ooh.
But the scout headshot from Nash does take down one of the AWP players, and that's actually pretty exciting for them. And it's a 4-on-4 now.
They may not op, but they can definitely scout. Ape bringing it back, as you mentioned, 4 versus 4. Second player push long, and now we're going to see this traditional fall play from the CT op, rather, excuse me. As Ape will cover Car, this will also put pressure on the Caboose, who's trying around the corner at Catwalk, excuse me, but he's already done damage onto Ape. A significant amount, but eventually does get taken down. As the spam will come through, the retake trying to come in toward Catwalk. A bomb plant right now would do wonders for 4Kids, and that's what they're going to attempt. And they may actually go beyond that, as Nash is going to pick up another kill with this scout. He's also going to tag on Ape, who sits at 5 HP. So things looking good for the Pistols to do the rest of it. It's up to Stewie ultimately now to do big damage. Now fitting, he's got a Cloud9 AK as he very nearly found a way onto that team, but the lineup is successful. Nash low on HP, it brings it to a one-on-one, and Stewie's got control of this peak. Unit stands in no man's land, doesn't even take the opportunity to push up against the wall, and it's going to be Stewie with the defuse.
It's one of the most exciting rounds we've had in this series. That was really cool. The fact that opening scout kill came into play allowed them to go into the bomb side. Bomb goes down, but the man we talked about so much before this game, Stewie, saves the day once again. Great retake from him. That double spray down he got on the A side was so vital for them, and then finishes it off a nice clean headshot on the A corner as well. Great stuff from them. And finally, Nash, after that great scout play, he picks up an AWP of himself. This is crazy though, because his team can't actually afford to buy. They've got 3 Tech 9s. This is the Hail Mary play. Get the AWP out and see whether you can work the picks with it. It works with the scout, so why not try the AWP? You can see them getting some very fast short control now.
Yeah, Ocean does a little bit of damage on the draft, not a lot, but more importantly is telegraphed to Ellis that they will be coming through. And now it's Slemmy again, same position with the op. Very standard play right now from what you'd see something out of TSM, as they also control the lemming drop stat by having a quick rotation back through CT. So SKDC, this is clinical, because those 2 players, those 2 support players inside TT will protect Slemmy. The problem is that it won't protect the bomb plant, because Slemmy was unable to hit the shots when they initially came through. And Nash, where was that op on Mirage? Because things are looking a lot better all of a sudden. This draft now going to pick up 2. It comes back to a one-on-one, and it's Stewie again who has to clutch this out. And it's a little bit better this time. It's Stewie. What a shot. What a reaction shot. He goes for the drop to change his angle and nearly gets caught. Kid again, another defuse. SKDC, so close these last 2 rounds.
Yeah, good stuff from them. Nash is really stepping it up with the AWP, defending his team there, allowing the bomb to go down. Around they perhaps should have won, but Stewie again, so strong in those retake positions, clutches once again for his team and saves the day. You see Draft, they got 2 huge frags as well. So 4Kids definitely have the potential here. It's their run up to the execution onto the bomb side is the problem. They're not getting enough map control. They're not working as a team. But when they do have the opportunity to get the bomb down, it's great. They have the player potential to do it. So Unfortunately for them, too many rounds lost in this point, but they are showing some signs of fight in them still.
I'm more interested as well to see Slemmy. He's got to hit these shots. He might not get so fortunate when we move into the second division of the bracket.
Yeah.
Second leg of the bracket, rather. As Slemmy, again, not able to hit, and he pays the price. Again, Caboose is going to make him pay for it, so now it's left to Ellis on Goose, and he only able to do damage on the first, not even secure the kill, as Draft goes down to 22. Nash eventually gets dropped by Ocean, but Bomb is already in place. I mean, this is Catwalk being exploited, and 4 kids, rather, with 2 rounds have found something a little bit late. So we'll see if they can take control of this situation, as Ape coming back in, though. It's another 2 kills. And JC Stoney trying to hug that wall. He may work this out. JC Stoney's not been spotted. He turns. Oh, but he whips for the first. Manages to pick up the second, and Ocean isn't going to go down. Oh, if he had been so much more clean on that first shot, there was a real chance for them to take that round.
Oh, dear. When you've got 3...
He just says no in chat.
The thing is, though, when you have 3 people on your screen like that, it's the hardest shot in the world. It may seem like the easiest, but the delight in your mind and the panic you have thinking, if I miss this, it's going to be really embarrassing. And he went for the full-on spray instead of just calmly tapping them, and he paid the price. Really exciting round again. You can't really sum that up any better than that. JC Stoney is going to be feeling a little bit silly after that one, but great retake from the CTs again. 11-2 in their favor now, and they're doing fantastic work so far. Seems like the T's actually opted to go full on to B now. Maybe just go straight into the tunnel.
Oh, geez. Stewie just gets back alive. That need almost taking down Nash, so good damage either way. Eventually Nash goes down, but Caboose finding Ocean. This actually favors. That's a better trade for the T's, not only because it's a CT's player down, but it left Stewie alive with 2 HP. And a full HP player already dropped. Smoke out of the door, cross coming in. Ellis, if this nade bounces correctly. No, it's not. It's going to go too deep. Could have done the kill on Unin. And Ellis has to wait as his teammates get in position in tunnels. They're ready. He needs to go anytime now as the flash will come over. It's going to take out JC Stoney, who spams toward the door, and Ellis lines it up better. It's going to be SKDC on a retake, and now it's down to a 3 versus 1. Draft is still alive, and he's found inside the closet.
Yeah, when you're in that situation, you have nothing to play with. You have no utility. You can't sit there like melons on the bomb site waiting for the CT to flash you and to kill you like that. It's too simple for them. You need to have someone at the window. If you know you've got nothing to hold them off with, start going looking for that frag. Surprise the CTs. You know they're going to be retaking any second. You can hear them coming. Face the window, face the door together perhaps, have one person in tunnels. You can't sit there and wait to die. So it's pretty disappointing for 4 kids, but I love a great retake from SKDC, and they're showing why they are much more formidable than 4 kids right now. See that? Great play there from Ellis. Good stuff from him. Superb retake. Last round now.
Unin. Caboose, they're both starting off well. 2-1 taps with the AK and making a 3rd now for Nash. So mid is exploited because they get very, very aggressive. Now, the one interesting fact out of this is that they do have a lurk player, Stewie, coming through lower tunnels, and the bomb is just working down middle now, so he might be able to cut them off. They're still not out of the woods yet, despite these 2 opening kills, because if Stewie finds them, and he spots them and does, it could all fall apart. Now Stewie takes control of the round and how quickly things can turn. They'll wrap back around through tunnels, but it's still going to be Stewie they have to deal with. Flash goes down, Caboose dodging it, looking for the shot through. Smoke out, though. Stewie smartly plays it because he knows they're coming that direction, and this leaves the bomb on the inside of the smoke. They have to push through it. They're trying to boost over it. So far, no success. Does he spot him? No, the X-ray makes it seem as though he does, but now they're going to spam. Does Stewie play dodgeball correctly? And so far, he's dodged everything he has to. As Ape now going to take down Nash, so that's the opposing angle gone. And they'll push through, but Stewie does eventually drop as Caboose sits back just a little bit longer. Still divided and not toward the bomb site with 28 seconds. Again, if that bomb was in play a little bit sooner, may not have even arrived at this conclusion. As it will cross over now with the smoke in play. Ape wants the window to come back through, but Caboose is already pre-aiming it, and now with Ape pre-firing toward platform, they're going to be aware of this, and Unin, he's going to use that crack in the box, spots the smoke coming through, has to change his angle, and doesn't even matter. He's going to get the shot. It's 12-3.
I thought Stewie had locked that one down as soon as he got the bomb in that lower B area. Great awareness and great use of utility as well. Smoked off the lower lower part of the tunnel there, and then had another one to play with as well. Locked him out of the round completely. He got some 2 great kills, and this is really, it was difficult to actually watch for 4Kids. They got the first 3 kills, and it came down to around that close. That just shows maybe they're a little bit sloppy going into these rounds.
And the bomb just getting caught. I mean, the bomb was all the way back at T-spawn.
Why is he by himself running around? So, I'm just going to run around the map by myself, and just hope it works out for me. Stewie locked him down, and that was almost the beginning of the end of that round for them. But here we go then, SKDC starting on the T side now. You can see him getting 4 sets of armor, and they actually haven't got any smokes or anything to play with. They have 1 HE grenade, so perhaps a full-on rush from them will be coming into play. Maybe just the straight-on B rush, and that's what is going to happen now. And it's going to be Caboose trying to hold them off.
So far, so good from Stewie, who makes the entry possible for Slemmy, who's got 8 HP to put this bomb down, but 8 HP for JC1 to push through. He doesn't. He hesitates. He doesn't want to take that fight. But as he does, man, what a headshot. It didn't even matter the 8 HP. He could have nailed it, but Ocean's going to hold on. Backside of the site. And with the help of Stewie 2K, who's been absolutely immaculate this game, 25 kills.
Yeah,
they'll put themselves at 13.
Pretty sick stuff from him. That's a straight up B rush. That's what I'm talking about, the current meta for Dust2 especially. You just get, if you have a decent B spawn, get your armor in. As long as the CTs aren't reacting to it too much, if they're not doing the push up middle, trying to get intel, you can get in there pretty much 9 times out of 10. And the CTs, of course, force buying this one. They need to get some rounds on the board. And you can see they are stacking towards long, so maybe this round will be interesting.
Now let's push down to lower tunnels, though. Kills going on elsewhere. That's toward long. As the bomb's still near T-spawn. Oh, they don't know Caboose is there. That needs telegram. That flash comes out. That'll catch him, and he won't even get anything because Ellis pre-fires with the re-entry on the Mac 10 heat. JC1 unit time potentially numbered as the pistol looking to do damage. Does at least collect onto the first kill. But Slemmy's now found JC standing in unit. I'm sorry. Unicorns are now extinct for a reason. You're about to be too.
I believe. He can do this.
Art Kelly believed once too.
But he wasn't a unicorn.
He was not a unicorn. He's not nearly as majestic. His unit at least prolonging this to give us something to speak about.
I don't think
Stewie, though.
he's
Stewie's posted. He's like, all right, I'm just going to wait. There it is.
So they actually force ball that round, and this is hell for them to run out. They obviously, do they go for the draw and try and get 12 in a row, or do they force this one? Well, they've got 2 options. They fully get this one, go for the draw. They try and force this one out again, and almost 90% of the time they're going to lose it. So 5 US, well, they got 1 P250 there, upgrade to a P250, 4 USPs, no utility, no armor, so they are indeed going for the draw. And it's going to tip them on to match point this time. So interesting approach from them. They are really going to go for the 12 rounds in a row. Here we go then. Stewie, the man, MVP so far, opens up the fragging onto Caboose, and that opens up the A-bomb so far.
Lots of health lost in the process, as he did get dinked up by that P250. But he's still looking at where Goose. Union's also on the A side, so a bit of a stack as well as they've got Naj, or rather, excuse me, JC1 out toward long, but bomb's already gone down on B, so it doesn't really make a difference as Stewie is just going to clean up. That 8 HP, it doesn't even matter, and JC1 already spotted by Slemmy, last that's alive. It's going to be match point for SKDC in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, pretty clinical stuff for them. As I mentioned before, they went for the draw themselves. So they went for a full eco now, and they can afford, they can scrape together a buy. A scout will be there. M4s, no, they have got some armor actually, 1 kit, some grenades, but this is just waiting to end, I'm afraid. Ape, who's going to pick up the AWP, he's been pretty strong this series. He's going to be going against Nash, but Nash has got a great scout though, but he gets shut down straight away. Orb headshot is going to end him, and it's the 5-on-4 now, and this is a nightmare for 4Kids. They need to find a frag, and they need to find it right now.
And Stewie's going to add to the problems right now for 4Kids. Maybe they really do need a 5th adult, a babysitter, to turn the tides, because SKDC has Ocean not only pushed out of the site, but in a good position in behind the boxes to make this retake not possible, or at least a lot harder. And the fact of the matter is, it's match point, so they have to. Slemmy pushes through window as well. Double aggression. He gets that initial kill, but traded. It's now down to draft. And you might as well count it down. 5, 4, 3. It's over. Didn't even get that far. 16-3, 2 straight maps. SKDC looking as composed as we saw 3-sup and Method last night in this first matchup.
Well, there was some interesting rounds there, some very back and forth ones. There were a lot of clutches actually. Like the scoreline doesn't do the game justice. I think there were actually a lot of big moments where Stewie especially had to pick up a lot of the slack that was let down for him. So great retakes from him, great clutches. I think he clutched about 4 times in the whole series, so amazing stuff from him. It was a very exciting game, although it was a 16-4. I actually enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was actually really interesting to see that 4Kids started to exploit something toward that catwalk position, and actually that's, there was some struggles. It wasn't that straightforward for SKDC because Slemmy missing a lot of shots.
He missed a lot of shots, actually,
He missed a lot of shots with the op, which was concerning, but the bigger thing was that Caboose impressed me as well because Caboose was able to punish him for that. That was where I saw some real interest. And there was definitely some individual skill on the 4Kids team.
That's what I've been saying. On Mirage, I saw it. I saw there some glimmers of hope there. And they showed that again. Their AK work was there. And there was some good moments from them and some great teamwork. But it was just they would win a round, then lose a one after, reset the economy straight away. And you can't, although the rounds they did win were great, you need to string some together. Momentum is real in CSGO. You need to be able to get the money system in your favor. You need to be punishing the CTs. The CTs didn't ever struggle. I can't remember a single eco for them, really. It didn't look like they were ever struggling at any point in the game. So that was a problem for them. Something that they definitely have some good players in the team, but they need to go back to the drawing book, how they approach the game, especially at the beginning of the rounds. They would get picks. At the start, but they didn't know what to do with it. They got the first pick on Dust2 on the T side, and then they kind of just sat there and kind of waited, which can work for them, but you've got no advantage on the map whatsoever. You have 0 intel, and the CTs have double AWP setups. What are you going to do in that situation? You're going to allow the CTs to fall back, reassess the situation, and get their AWP set up as turrets, and you run into it. So that's going to be a bad day at the office for anyone. So that was something they need to learn from this.
Well, we do have one more series coming up tonight. We'll take a short break before we get there, and it's Lunatic, the team that won, I was about to say CVOP, but ESCA Premier this year, will be playing in the Pro League next season, and they're up against a pug. Face it easy. Don't go anywhere. That'll be interesting as well. Any situation against a team in their league, it's not a good idea, but in this case, he's like, I want to do it. But the problem is it's all stacked up, but they're not ready for Ellis, who again pushes with that P90. He just started off. He eventually does go down inside that site, so Ocean has to play from the doorway. So now they'll retake, but Ellis goes through. He's actually inside with Ocean to support. He ends up paying the price for it, but not before doing a massive amount of damage. And JC Stani wants to plant this bomb. That's going to give away his position with 5 HP. Not much he can do. So Ocean swiftly in on top of the situation. Outfitting, he's got a Cloud9 AK as he very nearly found a way onto that team, but the lineup is successful. Nash low on HP, it brings it to a one-on-one, and Stewie's got control of this peak. Unit stands in no man's land.
Round they perhaps should have won, but Stewie again, so strong in those retake positions, clutches once again for his team and saves the day.
Take control of this situation as 8 coming back in, though. It's another 2 kills. JC Stani trying to hug that wall. He may work this out. JC Stani's not been spotted. He turns. Oh, but he whips for the first. Manages to pick up the second, and Ocean isn't going to go down. Oh, he had been so much more clean on that first shot. There was a real...